right, we are back. Another episode of the New Strength Way podcast. Today I've got Nath here, and we're talking how strong and fit should every dad be to be the leader, the protector, and the inspiration for their family. Nath, welcome to the show.
Mate, thanks for having me. I am very excited and passionate to talk about this one, so I can't wait to get into it and discuss some standards and maybe spark up a little bit of controversy. Who knows?
All right, so why are we going through this? Like, I guess the first piece for me is I feel like it's an important part of being a dad is like you've got to be that figurehead for the family. You've got to be the guy that your son looks up to as the hero. You've got to be the man that your daughter's looking to as the standard in men. And you can't be looking, moving, and feeling like a piece of shit, for lack of a better term.
Oh, 100%, Nate. I can't agree more. I think it's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day to forget those things, but realistically, that's what you're doing. And like you can see it from the outside looking in, and it's like reps and sets and like six packs or whatever, but that's not it. Like it's standards, and it's standards that will be set and seen from your family and the people that you're leading. And like you said, it's showing what's possible for both sons and daughters. And like you said, it sets the standard of the person they can be, but also the people or the standards they should not have to tolerate as well. And it shows what's possible and what people can do. And that's why we're so passionate about it and why we're going to get stuck into it today and talk about some standards that are simple and objective and we can actually utilize and we can carry people through whether they're starting out on their fitness journey and they just know they need to look after themselves and they know that's true, they're just not where they want to be, and then all the way to the last final ultimate StrongDad boss and where the peak is. We'll chat about it today and I'm pumped.
Yeah, and I think it's probably important to note is like I don't think any dad has intentionally got to wherever they are right now either. Like I don't think they've gone, you know what, I'm going to completely let myself go. I'm not going to be a good example. I'm not going to be fit and healthy and strong for my family. I think it's just a reality of the juggle of when you do have to be that provider, when you're trying to work and put food on the table for the kids and give them the life that you want. Sometimes it's easy to put yourself last on that list too and forget about the impact that what your actions are showing as well, not just the life that you're giving them with the financial side of things too.
100%. And it's like, it's not the presents you give them, it's the presents, right? To who you're coming through. And I think with what you touched on there, Jake, and I know we both speak about it a lot and I talk to a lot of dads that do this and they negotiate their own needs because I think at times they wear it as a bit of a badge of honor of putting everyone first. And don't get me wrong, there's certainly times for that. But if they're negotiating their own standards at that same time and it's because it's simple, but it's just what makes it harder over time. And the more dads negotiate their own needs with their standards and it seems to slip away and deteriorate, I think that's when dads can find themselves in the position where they think, how did I get here? Who is this man I'm looking at in the mirror and can I turn it around or not? And the answer is yes, you can, but it just has to require action.
And I think it's like we've talked about this a little bit off air. The idea of like what's become normal isn't normal. Like
100%. Shout out to Soph.
Yeah, credit to Soph. She might listen to this, but that was one of the big highlights. And it's to me, it's not normal to be smacking beers after work while you've got your kids. It's not normal to be
100%, Joe.
letting yourself go and not being there and being present with your kids and not moving forward and having a goal that you're still chasing towards, but it's become normal because we've normalized it.
Yeah, I think it's 100%. Like 100%. I'm on the same page, and I think there's many reasons why you and I get along, Jake, but I think one of those consistencies is standards, and I don't think it's normal. And I think you're spot on where there's so many things normalized about being a father that just aren't normal. And it's contribution, it's your standards you have. And like you said, like gone are the fucking days where you get home and you just sink a 6-pack of beers and go, oh, darling, can you just go get me another beer out of the fridge? I've had a big day and I just need to numb myself because I hate my life. I'll play on the weekend. It's like, fuck that. Like that is not a thing anymore. Like that is not a standard that I think anyone should have. And it's about being present and being active. And sure, there's time for rest, and it's not all about being go, go, go. The thing that we're talking about today, and I think we need to get clear for the listeners, is the standard that you hold yourself to, or at least someone else is holding you to whilst you're trying to get out of a rut or a place where you feel stuck.
100%. I think there's generally two places that a lot of dads come through. It's either this is what my dad did, so I didn't have a good example, so I've just gone down the same route there, and like that was what was normal for me, so that's what I'm doing. And then on the other side, there's probably equally as amount of people as like that was the standard that my dad set, so I made sure that I wasn't that, because that didn't fulfill me as a kid. That wasn't what I wanted out of my dad, so I'm going to step up and I'm going to change the cycle. I'm not going to let my kids go through the same thing as what I felt. And both are very real scenarios, but it just showcases you've got a choice in whatever situation you're in, and it's up to you to make that choice for what's going to serve you and what's going to serve your family.
100%, mate. And I think it's a lot of the time those things and those habits or those dependencies that dads are leaning on, the biggest thing is like your circle. Like your circle will normalize things that are not normal, and you will lose yourself. Like you need to surround yourself with people with higher standards. And yes, it takes effort to have a higher standard, but is the alternative acceptable? Like you said before, like you're either setting the standard of what is possible for your children to achieve in their life because you walk the walk in front, or you're setting the standard of the partner they're going to choose at the end of the day. We need to make sure that's what we realize that's in negotiation when you go home and have 10 beers because you've had a shit day because you hate your job that you got and you're stuck in whatever situation. Like there's much more going on, and it's the dad's responsibility to get it in check and to at least take one step in the right direction. Like you and I aren't preaching to be shredded and have it all together. It's the pursuit, and it's the pursuit of trying to be better, and that's the power, and that's really what you're trying to show your children and to do for your family.
Yeah, I think this is going to steal from your email yesterday that went out. If you're not on the email list, send us a message on Instagram at NewStrengthHQ and we'll get you on there. Shout out to Dozer, tells us we got to do more call to action. But whatever you repeat, whatever the repetition is, there's ripples to it. It doesn't matter if it's positive or negative. You are going to have a ripple in the future from whatever it is that you're repeating, whether that's positive, whether that's negative. And I think that's a really good way for us to just segment our way into like, what are the StrongDad standards? So we've got 6 things. I think there's going to be a 7th one worked in. I posted a post about this on Instagram the other day, carousel, and got a little bit of engagement. I also had one added to it from a friend of mine that I went to school with that I thought was actually pretty good, even though I feel like he was taking a shot at me while I was at
was it?
Too. We'll get to that there.
I'm very curious to hear what it is.
But we're going to start off basically going through the first thing is going to be the standard that we feel like is the baseline. Any dad should be able to meet this standard. And it's not going to be easy because our job as dads isn't fucking easy. But
the easy is just the like easy is the things that aren't normal that are normalized. Yeah. And it's like, oh, you've had a big day, mate, or oh, you're juggling a lot, or oh, this, or oh, that. Like, what's the point? Like, what's another fucking beer Band-Aid gonna do for anyone? Nothing.
So we've got the everyday standard, and then we've got our StrongDad standard, which is that elevated up there. When you want more for your life, when you want more for your kid's life, is like, what's the standard that you're going to hold yourself to? That's for those dads there. So we're going to kick our way off. First one up, the deadlift. I want you to give me what do you think the everyday standard should be?
That is a good question, Jacob. I'm going to try and remove our fitness filter over it. And I think this is a base standard, right?
Base standard,
just base. Like, you should at least be able to pick your body weight up off the ground.
Oh, that's too light. That's
at least.
No. If that's the standard, I reckon most guys can walk into a gym without doing anything. They're probably going to go pretty close. I reckon that's too low.
What's your thoughts?
I'm saying double body weight. I'm standing strong on this. This is one, like, I'm a good deadlifter. I know I'm built to deadlift. But to me, this is shit that's like, hopefully nobody has to go through the situation. But if your kid's leg's stuck onto something and it needs you to, like, I actually know an old client of ours, he, not as a kid, but he actually was moving a big fridge, and it got awkward. It fell, it landed over his leg, it broke his leg. somebody had to go there and actually pick that up off him. I think his wife was the first one to make the attempt there, and she couldn't get it. And there was tradies in the house, fortunately, and they were able to come on over and help out. But if you've got that situation with your own kids, you better hope that you can pick up that fridge. And I know hopefully your 5-year-old isn't trying to pick up fridges and move them around for you. Although if your 5-year-old is moving your fridges for you, that's probably a sign that you need to get stronger, because you should be doing that job. So I got a high standard on this because I think it's so important. Like, you'll probably never have that situation come up, but if you need it there, it's one of those ones that you never want to be under strength on.
Cool. So let's say a dad's jumping into this and wants to hit these standards. What time frame? Like, what's the time frame of training history?
Oh, look,
they got guidance. They're training relatively intelligently and giving it a crack, and they're not going 1 week and then just hopping on the beers the next week and I was going to say dabbling in it. It's not even dabbling. It's just not having a fucking go. But let's go into that to create a bit of context.
Yeah, look, like, let's be real. The body weight also adds another component of, if you're very overweight, it's going to make it a hard time. Like, if you're 120 kilos and you shouldn't be 120 kilos, like, if you're 120 kilos but you're jacked as shit, you're probably going to do a 240, let's be honest. So if you're 120 kilos and you really probably need to lose a little bit of weight, it's going to make it harder on you there. And maybe in shaving 20 kilos, which is also going to come hand in hand.
I was about to say, is this going to coincide with some of the other standards that you have in there?
Exactly. So it's like, obviously there's going to be a running one. You've got to be fit as a dad. You can't not have any aerobic capacity there. So I think it's important, is like, being a little bit on the lighter side is going to help you with your running, but it's also going to lend these body weight ones to being a little bit more achievable.
All right. So let's say dad's gone, fuck it, I'm ready to make a change and I'm sick of the person that I see in the mirror. Let's say, I don't know, Bob comes in, Bob's 120 kilos, needs to lose 30, or wants to lose 30. What timeline are we giving him to deadlift double body weight? 6 months?
Mate, I'd give him a year. Like, in the reality is, as a dad, you've got to be thinking in years. It's not about the 6-week challenge. It's not about a 6-week shred and then I can go back to my old habits here. It's a lifestyle change. We've got to be looking at, okay, cool. Yeah, some of this stuff might take some time for you to achieve, but are you going to just not try because it's going to take a little bit of time here? Like, you're going to be a parent for the rest of your life. But you better at least commit some time and effort into what you're doing to get yourself up to being in the standard and being the inspiration and the leader of your family. So, like, I'm not expecting to be somebody who just walks in and they should be able to do it. But I think it's, one, it showcases like there's got to be some effort involved to get there.
Yep.
And two, it's going to show some commitment too. Like, if we've got to if everything that you can kind of just jump your way into, I don't think it's showing the habits that are necessary as part of becoming that strong dad, becoming that family figure.
All right. So this is a dad that's pursuing a stronger version of himself. He's in the rhythms, he's doing it, and he needs a standard to work towards as a base to say, like, I've got the acceptable minimum now, and then I elevate from here. It's like level one. Level one?
Yeah, the other ones ain't listening anyway.
Yeah,
so
cool.
This is who I'm talking to.
I don't know. So, you never know.
Strong dad standard. What do you think then?
Now that we've had this conversation on the double body weight? Yeah.
I'd go 2.5. But that's I also like deadlift. So I'd go that for the strong dad standard. The baseline's lighter, but I know a lot of people argue to the death with me that they probably both need to be half down. I'm sticking with it. What do you do where do you start in your training if you're not up to scratch on that one there?
I think you have to, like, with your deadlifts, you just need a good base of strength. Like, you obviously are going to have to be lifting and doing some lower body strength, but essentially that comes from tonnage and volume. Like, you're going to have to be consistent. Yeah. Most people can't, unless you're built like an orangutan. No one's going to go in and dabble and pull something like that. It shows consistency and commitment over a long period of time, and also being quite uncomfortable. Like, a heavy set of deads, like 5s, 3s, pauses, like you done the other day, or we done together, I should say. It's taxing and just hard, mentally hard.
Man, I got some anxiety going into that. Those heavier sets. Hey, the 180 for a triple with a pause. I was like, oh no, but we got it done.
You did.
So yeah, I guess like probably a really good place to start with is just a simple linear progression strength program. You're going to want to make sure you've got a balance of, like, guys love going into the gym and just having their bro sessions, the upper body days, skipping out on leg days. Like, you need to be doubling down on you're hinging your RDLs. Like you can start with a trap bar, even if that's a little bit easier. If you've had a history of back issues, I still think it's really important to learn how to load your posterior chain well, learn how to have a strong back and to utilize that well. And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong. So getting your RDLs down pat, maybe loading the trap bar as your strength builder in that time frame. And I'd be okay if somebody turned around and said, oh, you know what, I can't do 2 on a conventional, but I get some back issues there, but I can do it on trap bar. I'm going to go, yeah, that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's move on to pull-ups. I think that's one of the big things, obviously, is like having full body strength and relative strength. I think the pull-up becomes really important for, and we spoke about this just before on the deadlift, is obviously like the times body weight. Pull-ups are a really good indication of that there. What should every dad be able to do on pull-ups?
Mate, well, Lenny hit a PB the other day and got 3 dead hangs, chin over bar. He's 4. Oh, mate, I think at least 5. Like, honestly, at least 5. Like, and if, like you said, if you're not there yet, it shows there's probably other components of your fitness and health that need to be in check, which is fine. That's okay. Again, it's a pursuit. It's not the thing, but that'll help you pursue towards something. I think 5. Yeah,
I agree. I think there's obviously a lot of layers. Like, I'm sure you're going to end up on the monkey bars with your kids at some point. And you got to have that grip strength. You've got to have the mobility to the shoulders, the capacity within that there. And like, I think just having a baseline on the pull-ups. Jake. And also, you're going to be there. You want to show off that you've got pull-ups down pat. You don't want to turn up at the park and the other kids' dads doing pull-ups.
We play to win, Jacob. We play to win. Whether it's my 4-year-old or if it's another dad at the park and you want to do a flex. But no, in all seriousness, like the amount of times over, especially the last 2 years, now the kids are a little bit older. Like Lenny's about to turn 5, Macy about to turn 7, where they're becoming more autonomous and capable, and they're doing so many things. Like they've learned how to ride their bikes now without training wheels, and I had to hold a 3:45k pace to keep up with them, to go through. And for anyone that doesn't know running, that's fucking moving fast. And and it's not saying you have to be there, but if I wasn't in the state to be that fit, I would not have been able to run alongside them, hear the conversations that we're having. And the conversations that we were having was so much pride in what they could do, how fast they were going, and what they'd learn. And then for me to actually be there, witness, absorb, and then also praise and acknowledge it, like there's no way I would have been able to do that. And I think that's up there with obviously one of the elite standards trying to run that fast, but it really highlights an example of, if I couldn't do that and I hadn't done all this groundwork, then I would have missed that experience. And I actually would have no idea it happened, because it would have been 500 meters up the track and I'll go, I'll catch you there in a sec, guys. I can't run. Also, knowing
the independence of your daughter, Macy, there's a good chance she wasn't coming back. If you couldn't keep up, she was off.
Mate, that has a lot to do with it as well. I think it's the standard though, right? I think they just expect me to be able to keep up.
Yeah.
Like, and I was, it's actually a funny story. When we were doing that, and I was running and holding that 3:45, I was moving. And then Macy was like, "Oh, you're really huffing and puffing, Dad. Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, darling, I'm fine. We're just moving quick." And she's like, "This is pretty quick, is it?" I was like, "Yeah, darling, that's fast." She's like, "You'll be right." And we kept going through. But again, I think it's the standard and the belief. Like, they're not asking me, "Are you okay to do this, Dad?" or "Do you feel okay running?" It's just expected, which is really cool.
In a kid's world, they ain't waiting for you. They're doing their thing, and you just got to keep up.
Man, I'm just happy to be there.
I love it. So if Dad can't get the pull-ups, I'm going to say the StrongDad Standards 15. Yep. I'm going to say that's the elevated one. I did toss up of whether I was going to add in like adding weight to these things. Like there is a video of me in the back of some of Cody's footage of like literally doing pull-ups with Millie hanging on my back. It was
15 or all your children on your back.
Yeah, 15 or 5 reps with your kids on your back. Which if you guys haven't tried to do that, it's actually way harder holding like your kid on your back, and because they're literally, the weight's behind you there, so they're kind of pulling you back away from the bar as you're trying to pull your way up. It becomes a really funky one. So maybe that should be the test. Depending on if your kid's like 10, it's going to be a struggle.
You've had 10 years of prep, don't worry.
Yeah. Let's move on. Oh, actually, what do we do? How do you game plan that? What's your best bet to get yourself on track for your pull-ups if you haven't done it before?
Outside of consistency and just having some tissue, and obviously like your body composition is going to play a huge role. Like there's not many people doing pull-ups that are at a really high body fat percentage, and that's just the truth. So you're going to have to make sure that you have some kind of plan in place around that. Outside of that, making sure that you're hitting your rows heavy, hitting your lat pull downs heavy. And then when you get to the point where you can hold yourself, isometrics and eccentrics. So essentially what that is pauses, just holding yourself with your chin over the bar, could be holding it halfway. And then you get to the point where you have control and strength. You can just do the eccentric, which for those listening is just the way down. So you'll notice in all of your movements on that controlling phase or lowering phase, you have a lot more strength and control. So we can actually utilize that to build strength with not actually doing the pull up portion.
Yeah, I always shoot for when we're training clients in the gym, they're working towards it. The first benchmark is 30 seconds chin over the bar hold. The second one from there that they work towards after that is they start doing 3 second isometric at the top, 3 to 5 seconds on the way down. If they can get 5 reps with control with 5 seconds on the way down on that one there, and they've been doing their lat pull down, so they're still getting used to the actual motion, the concentric, they're normally there.
Yeah.
If they're not there,
warm up your biceps before you do that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Or just
don't do that cold.
Good excuse to hit some extra curls. So the bench press. Every dude's favorite exercise in the gym, for every new dude's favorite exercise in the gym. I think once most of us get into it, we sort of start to push the bench press back down a little bit and start being more focused on squats and deads and those sorts of things. But I still think it's an important one. It's a good little benchmark, just maybe only for personal satisfaction. Like, when you're strong in the bench, you can feel it. Like, there's you feel strong.
Funny reels are about this actually.
Yeah,
the bench.
Give me it. Hit me with it.
It says there was one that popped up the other day, and it said if your dad can't bench 2 plates for reps, then your dad's your mum.
Oh, we should just make that. That's probably a fitting StrongDad standard. I'm going to change our list now.
So yeah, that was one. It was comical. It was funny to read. And the dude repping it too wasn't like jacked out of his mind or anything either. So he had a.
I'm glad he said 2 plates and not 3, because I would have been ruled out at that point.
No, I would have been done, mate. So yeah, a couple of reps at 100 kegs is never a bad place to be. And I think if you're on the lighter side, like, what do you think, Jake? Actually,
I think I had bodyweight for 5, which I'm pretty happy with. I think that's pretty close.
Yeah.
Like, for an average person, like I'm about 90 kilos. Like, I can do more than the 5 there. But if you're about 85, 90 kilos, it's probably about the average male weight.
Yep.
5 there's probably going to be 2 plates as well for a single. So it's pretty close. I think we're going to be looking there. It's probably either that or you can do 100 kilos. Like, I think it's just clear. There's something about repping out 2 blues. There's something about 2 blues.
There is definitely anyone that's done it and achieved it. There is something about repping out 2 blues.
All right,
done it this morning.
I think we can tie that one up, and that's the StrongDad standard now. Is 2 blues for reps.
Yep.
Somebody has maybe just started in the gym there. They want to get working on that. Obviously, like, there's a ongoing theme is consistency and progressively loading yourself and working your way up. But if there's something that what should be some movements they might alongside benching to support them there?
All right. Benching is going to be obviously a big one, shoulder health for people. So you're going to have to make sure you're actually doing your accessory work to maintain good shoulder and scap function. I think the quickest thing to bring down a bench is a shoulder injury. So make sure you're doing that, accumulating volume through dumbbell work, good range of motion, and then actually achieving some muscle growth. Like, it's funny, when I started at the gym, I can't remember who told me, and I should remember because they need the credit. They said, you rarely see anyone that's jacked benching 100 kilos. Oh, sorry. You rarely see anyone that's not jacked benching 100 kilos for reps. So he said, do not worry about anything until you're benching 100 kilos for reps. Just keep training. And I think that just shows and highlights the importance of just train, use these things. But again, it's volume, it's repetition. So some upper back work, some dumbbell pressing and benching, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, I think I don't really have anything to add to that. From there, a little bit of overhead pressing can help with the bench sometimes for some people, but like, I bench okay and my overhead press is garbage, so it's obviously not that important.
Yeah, I think it's just the consistency of pressing hard just through variations volume. When you need it. Yeah, I think the biggest thing with pressing that you and I have found is actually having the tissue to press with. So it's like, you're going to have to do some reps, and dumbbells are a great way to achieve hypertrophy. So you're probably looking at some dumbbell press through some different angles. Is there one better than the other? No. Do some incline, do some flat, do some decline. do some arm work, make sure your upper back's jacked, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, you probably don't need to have a full just chest day to be able to get there, but you can definitely get away with doing a lot of variation with the other movements. And
why wait
a
week to hit a body part again is just to we'll make a whole episode on this, but hitting something 50 times a year.
Benching more generally helps you bench more. Like 100%. I remember my strongest my bench has ever been, I was benching 3 days a week.
And it's also like you're not inducing that much fatigue.
40% for a maximum bench. Maximum 40% maximum motor unit recruitment.
Do you know what fatigues you more than that? 2 kids. Bench ain't doing nothing to your fatigue levels. Training is easy compared to parenting. Lean into it.
All right, we're rolling our way through. Kind of on the same vein here, that pressing strength, but we're going to go with dips there. I think dips are a really great one. Obviously, some people have some issues with shoulders wise, but the reason why this is on here for me is it is that combination of strength, control, and mobility through the shoulders. Like benching obviously is only like, you're only getting basically halfway through extension of your shoulder there. So it's never actually going to test it through its full strength there. I think the dips are a really great way to showcase a little bit of that shoulder extension. There's some mobility, some opening up through the chest that you probably need versus a lot of those other benching movements. You're probably not getting that full stretch through the shoulder. In that
it has a lot of practical application too, like getting out of the pool. I had to take the fly screen off of my house and jump in the other day because I didn't have my keys. And just playing with your kids in general, like getting up on stuff, playing at the park, like you said, Jacob. Like dip strength's really what comes into a lot of that.
And it does connect, it connects your upper body pressing strength within your core, like within a full body movement, being able to coordinate your strength there, which if you guys have never done sort of anything to sort of get context of it there, jump on a ring dip. You can be strong as hell. And we've had some really strong guys that have been in the gym before, like have done heaps of work, and we chuck them on the rings for dips and all of a sudden they can't get a rep. And they're absolutely dumbfounded as to why they can't do a rep there. And it then just showcases like, they don't have the stability there. They don't have the ability to like tighten up their whole body together. And I think the dip is a fundamental of that. And we'll get to our StrongDad standard, which to me does involve using the rings just because it is that extra layer of challenge. How many reps? What are you calling for?
On the rings or
just a regular dip?
Regular dips? I think
for the everyday standard.
I think if it's full range, like nose to bar or where that person's physical capacity, I think it should just be the same as pull-ups.
Yeah.
I can't see any reason why it wouldn't just sit in the same. Same with the standards as they increase. You either do a dip with your kid on your back or you can hit 15.
I went 10 strict ring dips as our StrongDad standard. So 10 strict ring dips obviously added that extra reactive stability through the shoulders, which is you see guys in sports and stuff like that, they get injured. Typically it's when they're in an awkward position where their shoulder isn't able to, like, they're not able to actually coordinate and stabilize their position reactively on the ball. And when we're in the gym, there's not a lot of that reactive stability there. And I don't know, I was talking to one of our clients the other day, Sally, and she was saying about when she dislocated her knee, I believe. And I was like, oh, how'd you do that? And she's like, oh, I had my legs up on the ottoman and my kid jumped on my legs. And I was like, oh,
man, the amount of times I've had that happen. Not the dislocation, but just that thinking that my leg was going to snap in half.
Yeah. So like in reality, as a parent, you're going to have some really odd things come up. Like I think Max climbed on me literally last night, was laying down on me, having a cuddle. He climbed up, stood on my chest, and then just jumped up and kneed straight down on me. And I was like, holy shit, man, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like trying to take me out. And I was like, you're going to have things like that where they're going to crank on your shoulders, on your arms. And I think building some structural control often is a really important way of how we can not bulletproof you, but help build your overall strength and capacity through the gym. So 10 strict ring dips for me. Obviously, the other option is do dips with your kids on your back.
Yeah, I'm going with that one. That's Nath's choice.
Yeah. All right. On to our capacity. 5K run. I'm saying 5Ks because it at least shows that there's some effort involved here. I think Claire says anyone can take off their handbag and run a marathon. I don't know whether that's the case.
I have to believe her. She's more educated on the fact than I am.
Yeah, I'm going to say anyone can take off their handbag and run a mile straight away. So if you just got to get your way through, there's just managing your pacing. I'm going to say 5Ks because you're committing to a bit of a slog here.
I agree 100%. Like I would have potentially questioned this before I started running more often and actually going through that pursuit. But now, again, the kids on the bikes, just the whole I guess it's the next chapter, and you're somewhat in it, Jake. And when Maxie's a bit older, you'll be very much in it. Like they are moving, and they are moving fast. Like, and it's rapid, and it's just all the time. And the other day, like they done a bike ride, and it ended up being 8Ks. So like I ran alongside them, and sure I could get a bike or something like that. But if you can't run 5Ks, I think you're gonna have a hard time being in shape enough to enjoy things. Like if you can do 5Ks and that's an effort, then the sub maximal should be you can jog when you need to on a bike ride with the kids, and you can walk that distance if that's what they're going to do. But if you're not hitting that, I reckon you're going to have a really hard time extracting a lot of cool moments, memories, and moments of importance, in my belief.
Yeah. And obviously running as well as or having a really strong aerobic base is really important for longevity as well. And we want to be here for our kids for a long time. We want to be able to extract the most out of that time as well.
Yeah. What's you could correct me on this, Jacob, because you are the scientist, exercise scientist. There's something between like all-cause mortality and VO2 max and quad size.
There's so many studies on that there. Like you can argue on things of like that. I think there's now muscle density as well as like power is rated up just as high.
Yeah.
But in general, like literally it's like fitter, stronger people live.
Do you reckon the next study will just be the StrongDad Standards?
Wait, I don't
StrongDad Standards reduced all-cause mortality?
We could probably make it happen. I know some people in research still, so I'm sure we could get this to work out at some point. But I'm going to say no walking is the standard inside of that there. You can't stop on that 5Ks.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm even going to like stretch we did have friend of ours from up the Gold Coast, Regan, runs CrossFit Bounce. He suggested sub 30 minutes as part of the post there the other day. I actually considered that first, and I was like, I think I'll let people off the hook a little bit. So I do think that probably sub 30 is a good everyday standard. That's 6-minute Ks for 5Ks. What do you reckon?
Oh, it's very achievable. Like no matter where you're at, it's achievable. For sure. I think actually, to be honest, Hods, I think something that put a lot of it into perspective was actually being at High Rocks and seeing the wide variety of people doing that. Like there was all walks of life and all different capacities and capabilities. And I think it was just more, it was more their commitment to the pursuit and being headstrong to push through and do the work to get there. And I think that'll carry most dads that are able. Like if they're able and they're committed, there's no reason why you couldn't go sub 30 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the StrongDad standard become? What's the
sub 20?
Sub 20.
Sub 20.
Yeah.
If I can do it at over 90 kegs, everyone can do it. That's going to be my my hot take from the potty.
Yeah. I'm going to I've put down 4.5 minute Ks, so 22:30, but I'm happy to be up for debate on it. I think it's probably one of those ones. I think sub 20, it takes a fair amount of running, but to be fair, I said that the deadlift's going to take a year. So like for somebody to get in there, so it's probably the same thing.
It's the same thing. Yeah, for you to get a sub 25K will be I reckon the exact amount of effort it'll take me to hit the deadlift standard.
Yeah, for the 2.5, what would that be for you?
90 at the moment, 91.
Yeah. Does that put it 225?
Fuck, I better get deadlifting.
We can race. This might be this might be the race from here. It's me to sub 25Ks and Nath to a 225.
Do we have to be able to do both though at the same time? So I have to run sub 20 and do the deadlift, and you have to
be the same day.
Power 12, 2026.
Could be, mate. We
should do that.
We'll get Cody on board. We'll make it a video series.
Cody,
yeah,
it's happening. This is happening.
Yeah. What's the girls? Because I feel like the girls are going to want in on this.
I'm nervous.
Well,
I'm so nervous for how disgusting this will feel. Thanks, Jake. You're always pushing me. Girls, that's a good idea. Let's run through that.
Double for the girls? Like
double.
Probably double's the same standard for
that would work out. Yeah. If anyone, that's a good one. All right, let's do. This will be a good take on the gram to get people in. So, you kick it off.
Yeah, 2.5 times bodyweight deadlift.
Yep.
Yeah. So for me, it's 220 and some change at the moment.
Yeah.
Sub 20-minute 5K for the guys.
Yep.
Girls, the equivalent would be double bodyweight deadlift.
Yep.
And a sub 25-minute 5K.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think that's we're probably gonna have Tyler Loads and we'll send us that in like tomorrow and just be like,
He's not dad.
No, it doesn't count. Yeah,
It doesn't count. Sorry, Tyler. You're a very good bloke, but that doesn't count.
No, he's a good looking bloke, mate.
There
might be a few floating around.
He's a good dude. He's a good dude. He's a good dude. All right, sweet. So let's do it. We're gonna lock this in because it'll be exciting and fun.
On it?
Jacob and Nathan are gonna race to do 2.5 times bodyweight deadlift. Obviously, Jacob can do that, but a sub 25K on the same day. And then we'll take some bars and plates out to the track and do it at where we held Strong Mile.
Fernley Doors. The blue track.
All right, it's happening.
Blue track. It's gonna be.
I'll be curious. I'm gonna curious actually. Call out to any dads. This one's for you. We're gonna run through Hodds and I. We're gonna do 2.5 times bodyweight deadlift straight into a sub 20-minute 5K. I want to know
straight in. Like, are you counting this on the time? Like the deadlift comes and like, is that your starting?
Yeah.
Then you're straight on the run.
Yeah, we could do that. 100%. You only got to get your feet under you after like the first kilometer.
You might not be able to start the timer though.
No, we'll have people there. We'll be fine.
No, I mean you might not get the deadlift and then you're stuck.
Oh yeah, no, I don't understand that. Yeah, no, that's told you I was nervous.
Watching me run.
Yeah, like you got this, Jacob. All right, so call out to very strong dads. I want to know if any of you guys can do a 2.5 double weight deadlift straight into a sub 25K. Jacob and I are shooting to that. We're going to race, which is very exciting. I have a heap of work to do on my deadlift, so I'm going to get back jacked and get into that. But I want to know if anyone can do it. I'd be really curious. Anyone out there that's a parent, do you have to have a minimum of 2 kids?
I'll take one. I want to see it.
Yeah, true. All right, standard is
you can't claim you've got a fur baby. That's a load of shit.
Yeah, no,
it's not the same thing.
That doesn't count. People think it counts till they have a kid, and then they absolutely laugh at themselves. All right, so we're going 2.5 times bodyweight deadlift into a sub 25K. Got to be a dad. Figures itself out, obviously, with the bodyweight standards.
Same day. I won't make them do it immediately for purposes of sending it to us. Like, I don't need a video, one continuous one.
I'm so nervous.
I don't want a 22-minute video from sent
That's
to us
exciting,
people,
but that's very exciting.
I reckon that'd be a cool challenge there.
This would be cool.
Last one on the.
Make sure everyone holds us to that.
Last one on the StrongDad Standards, the one that we're going to add in that I didn't address beforehand. Shout out to Sean Swadling, trampoline savage, now training for a half Ironman, I believe. We see him of a Sunday
he bought the rower office, right? Yeah, cool. Awesome.
So Sean's a little legend, but he added that every dad should be able to touch their toes, knees locked.
Oh yeah. I got short ass femurs. I can't have a say on that. I could do that right here, right now. That's nothing.
So I think that should be a pretty good standard. I've got those like real tight post chain, longer femurs ish, which makes it hard. I can do it though. And that's probably a good showcase. I can still do it as much.
There's a lot of evolution and room for things like that. Actually, it was Sean, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's a really good point. And I think the running and everything. And the standards that you've created there, Jake, as an examples, will keep someone balanced. But I think there is something like that missing where it's like, okay, cool, I can pull 225 off the floor and be strong, but I can also be supple and I can walk around with my kids and run and whatever after I've pulled up 225. It's not that and then I can't move for a week.
Yeah. Yeah. So
just like everyone so they know too, if I get 225, that's a 25 kilo PR on my deadlift. This is not easy work, by the way. Not easy at all.
Are we allowing? If you wear a deadlift suit, if you steal Bev's deadlift suit, so you can do it, you have to run in the deadlift suit.
Jacob, I couldn't live with myself if I pulled that number for the first time because that's 5 blues, right?
Yeah.
No.
5 blues and some change. Oh, you might get a little bit leaner. You might be able to jag it at 220.
I reckon I got better chance of being leaner and stronger. I'll do a physique show in the same week. All right, let's move on. Let's
move on. We are wrapping up there. For the dads that are listened in and want to kind of know how to go about this stuff, want you to send us a message on Instagram at NewStrengthHQ with the comment Strong Dad. We'll send you through our Strong Dad transformation guide. This is the program that we use when people get started in the gym with us. Now 28 days when they do it in-house with us there, where we're going to basically overhaul their strength, fitness, athleticism, movement, and surrounding
belief.
Belief. That's the ultimate one.
Is the big one.
Like it's their chance to change the standard of what they think is possible for themselves and what they think can be possible for their family off the back end of that.
100%. I think that's and sorry to interrupt, Jake, but I think that's a really big one to go back to what's what's normalized isn't always normal. And when we speak about these things, I think some dads out there, depending on their circles, will think it's a G up or it's not possible or whatever it is. But it's essentially just that same thing. It's like you need to be careful who you're hanging around and what's normalized. And I'm not saying if you can't deadlift twice your body weight, you're a bad person. That's not what it's about.
This is
it's about the pursuit and the standards and just questioning what's normalized. And it doesn't always mean it's normal. And we need to raise the standard. We need to do a good job of it. But the only way we can do that as dads is to make sure that we raise the standard as a whole. So there's more circles that are normalizing higher standards, and we're not accepting what's normalized just because it was normal.
Mate, you look at like James, one of our clients, he's had a hell of a transformation over the last year.
Oh, Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Massive.
He's probably going to hate when we're talking about him in this
Too
year.
bad,
But
Jimmy.
too bad, Jimmy. We're proud of you, mate. But he came in off the back end of, he started training again because his son saw a photo of him when he was 17, 18. Jimmy and I played footy together. Jimmy was in great shape back then and went through some injuries, went into the career world and just kind of lost his way a little bit in terms of looking after himself for his own fitness there. And now he's back training. He's leaned up a lot more. But his son saw this photo of him and was like, hey, Dad, why don't you look like this anymore? And I think the disappointment that he got from his son there just hit him. And that was the spark that's just changed the momentum for him. And he's on a roll now. I think he told me that his son now calls him Jack Daddy. And like, the amount of extra life that's in that whole family now. Like the kids come to the gym on Saturday morning, so him and his wife can train together. They rip in. The kids are doing push-ups along there. And
I didn't know.
You didn't know that? Oh,
no, I knew the kids come. I didn't know they called him Jack Daddy.
It's so good.
I know that. I've seen it. Like they're it's like, again, shout out to Jimmy. Like the trajectory change and the how much that like magnetizes the family along with the I guess the evolution of it, but also it elevates the whole family. And he should be extremely proud of himself, no doubt. But Jack Daddy.
Yeah, it's great.
That's funny.
So basically, guys, if you've listened to this one, if you disagree with us on the standards, like let us know. Shoot us a message on Instagram. Yeah. We'll chat it out. Like I'd love to see what other dads think is what they think they should work towards on this, or have we gone under something? Have we gone over something? Did we just miss a movement? Is there something that should be in here that we haven't chucked in that's on there? Let us know. And other than that, DM StrongDad to @NewStrengthHQ if you're keen to get that StrongDad transformation guide. We'll give you guys the whole outline of how we take people through in person, so that you can go and do it yourself, by yourself, or if you are interested in joining us at New Strength and doing it, then by all means, we'll have a special offer as well in the DMs for you there. So that's it for us on the New Strength Way this week, and we look forward to seeing you guys back next week, where we're going to be dropping all of our insights on nutrition.
Yeah, we will.